Good evening, gang. What is going on, everybody? It's the third night in a row live. Man, you know, Hayden, shout out to everybody in the chat. My man, Jonathan, Tim King, and Jordans. And let's see. The MLB channel, Stephen B., Albert Kearns, Krem, excuse me, my apologies, Louis G. What's happening, gang? Almarest, Stephen Mater, what is good? What is good, Brandon Moore? There he is. Shout out to everybody else in the chat, by the way. Hit them likes if you don't mind. I already saw some questions. You don't see Snell going to Brewers. Jonathan does. What is good? Well, let me tell you something. Jonathan is a very important part of the 161 family, and he made a very, 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 very good point earlier. And I want to give him full credit for this. When the Brewers traded, what do you call it? Corbin Burns to the Orioles, they got two prospects and the compensatory picks, which turned out to be number 34 in a draft. So if they happen to sign Blake Snell, it's essentially going to cost them one pick instead of two because they already gained another pick from the trade with the Corbin Burns. So they'd still get international money, but Snell would cost one less pick. And in terms of a contract, his contract's very likely going to be smaller than Corbin Burns is going to be. So, and for those that haven't heard, they also signed Gary Sanchez today, who spent most of the season as Blake Snell's personal catcher in the Padres. So, you could put those pieces together. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it could increase the odds of that happening. So, thank you, Jonathan, for that great point you made. So, and again, they might be a small market team, but they'll still sign some people. They will. I think Brandon Moore, yeah. And again, if Blake Snell happens to sign with the Brewers, then he stays in the National League. We don't have to face him. So, and it's financially it'll likely be. And again, they would be replacing with one Cy Young Award winner with another Cy Young Award winner. So, I say the same thing as those guys from Fireside, Brandon, that Will Warren and Chase Hampton. They're the two most highly touted prospects pitching for the Yankees. So Will Warren's probably the closest. I've been saying this for months, that Warren's got the most major league ready. Hampton has the best fastball combination, power pitch combination in the farm. So they're the two most likely pitching prospects to make it in the major leagues this year for the Yankees. Democracy matters. What's happening? Chris Schmidt. What's up? Sean Browning. Frank is in the house too. Yankees talk, Yeah, I mean, Yankees talk. I mean, yeah, they gave up, And I said this yesterday. I said it today, and I'll say it again. They gave up two prospects, and the draft pick, right? Compensatory pick in the draft. Again, it's going to be the number 34 pick in the draft. So just outside the first round, beginning of the second round. So the expected ask was Spencer Jones and Chase Hampton from the Yankees. That's their number 1 and 3 prospects. The prospects that they gave away, it doesn't really matter where you rank on the top 100 prospects. The prospects that the Orioles gave away were blocked at their positions by other prospects. So it made more sense for them to move these prospects as opposed to the Yankees. The Yankees have every intention of making Spencer Jones an everyday player and Chase Hampton an everyday player. So. And I don't know what the rest of the ask was, but you're 1 and 3 prospect, and that's different. Neither one of those prospects for the Orioles were in the top 10. So you had Will Warren throw a no-hitter. That's a pretty bold prediction right there, Brendan Moore. I like it. Make sure you hit the like button, gang. Let's try to get the likes over 100 as quickly as we can. Maybe we can get there in the first 15, 20 minutes. So everybody in here, if you haven't hit that thumbs up, please hit the thumbs up. We got 100 people in here already. Let's try to get to 100 likes, and I thank you for it. Almarest, number 1 Yanks fan. What is good? NFE. NFE's in the house. Did I miss him? The scroll's going fast. NFE, and there he is. NFE's in the house. Yeah, I mean, So, Jonathan, thank you for making that point. And it does, it makes sense. I'm not, again, can't say that the Brewers will replace Burns with Snell. They signed Jacob Junis, but he's not a Snell. He's not a Burns. So, not so, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, you know, who's Snell's market? Don't know. And he did have a lot of success pitching to Gary Sanchez. And the Brewers need an ace pitcher now because I don't think they're going to re up with Brandon Woodruff. So, Benji, would I sign Whit Merrifield? The problem is there's nowhere for him to play. I like Whit, but there's nowhere for him to play. So, no, Brian. I don't claim that. There are other channels that do that. I'm not the guy that claims. Somebody must be feeding you that propaganda. But you know what? Let me do that right now. Yeah. Current state of the Yankees and trade. Oh, where did that go? And the trade market lead me to believe Monty doesn't want to sign with the Yankees. Yeah, I mean, he would have done it already if he wants to come. But again, didn't he want the exact contract the Yankees offer? Yeah, possibly. I think I think it's close. I think you're probably right. So, um, Gary, what's happening, man? Yeah, trolls from this weak channel coming in here too. It's a shame. Yeah, 1 week from today. 1 week from today, King Solomon. That's what I'm saying, brother. Yep. Yeah, and this is no, I'm not sleeping on Andres Gomez, not sleeping on Luis Hill. These guys have, they have a lot of good pitching prospects. They really have a lot of good pitching prospects. And again, Marcel, I'm glad you brought up Trevor Bauer and some other this is Trevor Bauer. He's trending right now on Twitter. I'm going to read his Twitter today. It looks like he's really, really, really eager to get signed by a team. He really wants to hear, he really wants to be signed by somebody. This is him. He says, Blake, this is his Twitter today. Blake Snell is going to get hundreds of millions of dollars on a multi-year deal, and he deserves it. For a team that doesn't want to commit multi-years, hundreds of millions of dollars, or many elite prospects for a Cy Young Award winner, they could sign me for the league minimum and pay zero incremental dollars over what they have to pay to that roster spot anyway. Just another option for teams that want to win and don't have to break the bank. Don't want to break the bank. So, there is apparently still baggage attached to Trevor Bauer, so I'm not sure that a team is going to want to sign him until that stuff's got to be resolved first. But financially, there's a little risk to signing him to the league minimum. Julio Urias, Benji, he's unfortunately has his second arrest for domestic violence. So it's being investigated by, I think, the Los Angeles District Attorney. So I don't think he's gonna play this year. Just like I don't think Juan DeFranco is gonna play this year. Those guys are in a bad spot right now. Bad spot. Things are bad when the offseason is over as far as spring training. Yeah, I'm telling you, Shark Potatoes. Somebody asked too, who do I predict the four big Boris Klein signing kill? I actually did a video on this. I actually predicted outside the box. I had predicted Cody Bellinger to the Yankees. I predicted Jordan Montgomery to the Red Sox. I think Blake Snell I had him predicted to the Angels, and Matt Chapman I think to the Giants. Now I don't see Cody Bellinger coming to the Yankees. But Hyunjin Ryo Benji is another guy. He's a lefty. He's got American League East experience. Yeah. Yankees talk. What do I say? Diamondbacks or Dodgers right now? I mean, the Dodgers had a pretty big offseason, but the Dodgers, excuse me, they had a pretty good, but the Diamondbacks won the World Series. They've also added, who did they add? Jock Peterson, clutch hitter. They also added Eduardo Rodriguez, pitcher. So until, the Dodgers have to unseat them right now. So I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers won the division. But again, it's, if you make it to the playoffs, then it's everybody has a 0-0 record. 0-0 record. So Cubs, yeah, I could see him returning to the Cubs too. Juan DeFranco did what they say he did. He should never play. Yeah, I mean, He's being investigated. He's already been. They already have correspondence with him trying to pay off the mom to keep quiet with them paying the 14-year-old girl. Like it's ugly. It's a really really bad thing for Juan DeFranco. So, but apparently, what happened to Hinge? He's still a free agent. Chris Schmidt, still a free agent. So, yeah. And I think he'll get picked up by somebody. He's a guy for the Yankees to consider. So on the back end of the rotation, give somebody some. And I think he came off Tommy John's, but he's already back in. He's pitching. So and he pitched last year after Tommy John. So he's back and he's healthy. And again, he's got experience in the AL East, and he won't cost a lot. But like in terms of Trevor Bauer, I would have him do a showcase, just like Aaron Sanchez did today for a bunch of teams, former Jays pitcher. So have Trevor Bauer come here and pitch for some teams and see who wants to come and see him. And if somebody's interested, then they can do that. Take him up on his offer. You know what I mean? To the Royals, I mean, Michael, I'm not putting anything past the Royals. They could be pretty sneaky good too. They made a couple of sneaky good moves. So, and I'm with you, Democracy. I'm excited to see Warren and Hampton too. Lorenzen. Lorenzen, I don't think he has signed yet for anybody. So, nobody signed him. I can't see them bringing a flyer on Caleb on Brandon Belt. Where would he play is the question. So, and that's the thing. Like, where would these guys play? Like Belt, I have no idea. Gio Urshela, he doesn't have a spot. Whit Merrifield doesn't have a spot. So, NFB's got strike zones, got the Royals winning the AL Central. I like that. I like it. No news right now, Austin, on Boris free agents. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. So, I don't think the Yankees pitching staff is complete either, Brendan. I think they're going to add a starting pitcher. When? I don't know. Who? I don't know. But I think they're going to be under the, just flying under the radar until they get a value that they like. So, but again, we'll see when that is. Domingo Germán is not signed yet, Benji. But apparently he's got 5 or 6 teams interested in him. So, the Yankees got way better, Barry. Yeah, I think they've improved more than any other team in the American League. So, I would imagine they'd make a move during spring training. They do almost every year, Sean. So I'm with that. Yep. Yeah, Tigers I think can be improved this year. I think the Royals are going to be pretty good too. So, Monty to the Phillies would be a pretty big pickup for them. And they sometimes make the other channel. What do you call it? The Phillies always make some kind of late move. So, what other channel never says you're right, Brendan? What other channel are you talking about? I've said from the beginning that the Yankees are not done. I never said that the Yankees are not done making big moves, but I don't think they're done making moves. But again, the big moves aren't the only ones that matter. And I've said this repeatedly. So I'm with you right there, Brendan. Who's telling you that you're not right? And again, they could just say they don't agree with you, instead of you're not right. But whatever. It's all good. We'll see what they do. We'll see what they do. They've got a lot, Mr. Persky, right now. Yankees still. I think they're going to try to add a starting pitcher, but I'm confident with the guys that they have, the pitching prospects like Will Warren's close, Chase Hampton, and these other guys. So I feel good about those guys. Devin Williams, I imagine they're going to keep an eye on him as well and see what he would cost. So, okay, Brendan. Yeah, I know. I got you. Whatever. Yeah. Well, good. I got you, Strike Zone. I got you, NFE, baby. You know it, man. I love it. You inspire me too, brother. Don't forget that. And I don't know, King Solomon, with the Bauer. I don't know what you'd get with Bauer. I have no idea. I'm not doubting his talent, but he hasn't, pitched in the majors in I think almost 3 years. So He's got to prove he can. That's why I think a showcase for major league teams would probably be a good idea for him to see he can show people and show teams what he can do. Consigliere's in the house, the Prime Minister of Texas, right there. What's happened to my man? What is good, my man? If Luis Castillo was available, I don't know if I would at this point, Benji. In all honesty, but he's got 5 years left, so I'll put it this way: he's going to cost less than Bauer would. I'm not Bauer, sorry. He'll cost less than Snell. He'll cost less than Montgomery, most likely. So, in that regard, if you're going to spend on any of the three, it would probably be Castillo. So, yeah, it'll happen for the cheap, but it's just I don't know. I think those issues need to be cleared up first. Um, so Brendan, well, he's been criminally cleared, which is great, but there's more accusers out there, Brendan. So that's what I think the problem is. That stuff needs to be resolved first because that's baggage. You know, um, baggage is going to come. That's going to come with them, and I don't think the last thing I think the Yankees want to do is bring more baggage. So, but if you get him on the minimum, then I don't know. He's not the first guy. He's not on the front of my list. But now that he's saying he'll play for the league minimum, I could imagine it would probably woke up a couple teams. So you know what I mean. Well, that's good that he said everything was resolved, and I hope he's right. I hope he's right. The Consigliere's hanging in there. I love it. I love it. Do I think the Yankees should be the favorite? I wouldn't be surprised if they won the AL East. I don't really like predicting the division winners, to be honest with you, but you know, I think the Yankees they've improved more than the Orioles. The Orioles got better with adding Corbin Burns, but I'm not just handing the AL East to the Orioles. Just like I'm not handing the World Series to the Dodgers. I'm not doing it. It's a 162 game season. These guys got to play. They got to stay healthy, and it's a combination of staying healthy, streak of luck, productivity. Like, there's a lot of things that need to fall into place for them to get deep into the postseason and win a World Series. Like Texas had pretty much everything fall into place for them last year. They would need that again this year, and on top of that, to win 2 in a row. That's why it's so hard to do. Brandon, man, I appreciate whatever you bring, man. So remember that. But it's all good, man. Just it's good having you in here, Brandon. And I think some people are turning around on Bauer now. I mean, if we're getting more clarity that he's in the clear, then okay. 69 likes. We need 31 to get to 100. Anybody that hasn't hit that thumbs up yet, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up, let's blow past the 100 if you don't mind. I'm going to try to get there before the 20-minute mark if we can. We got 2 minutes. So if anybody can just hit that, and let's try to get past 100 if we can in the next minute and a half, if you don't mind. It's greatly appreciated. It's always helpful. TT Talbot's in the house. Yeah, I think some people are disappointed over Burns. But again, I said this earlier, the prospects that the Orioles offered are blocked in their positions. The apparent ask for the Yankees was Spencer Jones and Chase Hampton. That's their 1 and 3 prospect. So it's a different impact for the Yankees as it would be on the Orioles. So no matter where you're ranked on the top 100, it doesn't really matter. So, and the Yankees had fully intend on playing Spencer Jones full time, just like they intend on using Chase Hampton in the rotation if they can get there. So that's why I think it's a little bit different. But again, who's after? You got Ty France over there. You got who else you got over there? John Means. Like, they got a good rotation, but this Burns doesn't guarantee them a World Series either. So, and again, there's no guarantee he's going to stay there either. I think they're in a better position to extend them now that they have new ownership, but it still hasn't happened yet. The Buckeye, maybe he's relaxing tonight. I mean, if it was 2 years of Corbin Burns, I would have considered it, but not for 1 year. Not him and Chase Hampton. No. I'm sorry, not Ty France. What's his name? Oh yeah, Brendan. It'll come to me. Wait a second. I have it right here. Think I have it right here. Uh, let's see. Let's see what they're. Corbin Burns. Where'd they go? Obviously, they want Corbin Burns to be the ace, and he most likely, well, I think he almost definitely will. Who's the rest of the rotation for the Baltimore Orioles? You've got where is it? I can't find it. Well, I know John Means is on there. You've got oh, here we go. Oh, Bradish, not Ty France, excuse me. Kyle Bradish, Grayson Rodriguez, John Means, and then you have Creamer at the end there. So it's solid. It's solid, but it's not. I don't really think it's the best in the AL, but whatever. But again, yeah, I know it stinks that they got him. They got Corbin Burns, but again, they've got a deeper farm too. They're the number one ranked farm in baseball, so they can afford to make those trades and not really have an impact. I mean, losing, our 1-3 would have impacted the Yankees more than what the Orioles gave up. So, and that's probably also why it didn't happen. So, who's that, bro? Who are they again, bro? Smart. Kyle Bradish, Grayson Rodriguez, John Means. Talbot broke here too. Yeah, Grayson Rodriguez, Kyle Bradish, John Means. So they got a solid rotation. And great. Corbin Burns definitely makes it better. So, I was not expecting the Orioles selling Latino. I know people wanted them to sell it, and they finally did. So good for them. I don't know if I would give Chase Hampton and Brendan Maia for Devin Williams. That would be pretty. Oof. Our number 3 prospect, a starting pitcher for their closer. I know Brandon Maia is probably expendable because he's blocked also at the outfield position. But I really wonder what Devin Williams to Austin would cost for the Yankees. I really, really, really wonder. But I would imagine that's not far, Chase Hampton. But again, at the end of the day, you want to try to keep Chase Hampton. He's a good guy. He's a good player. He's got a good head on his shoulder. He's got the best power pitches in the Yankees farm system. So I'd be pretty hesitant to give. I would have been willing to give him up for Corbin Burns, but not him and Jones. So I'm hesitant to give him up for Devin Williams. And then if that's the case, I would just sign Trevor Bauer as another bullpen guy. And then you wouldn't have to give up anybody and just pay the league minimum. So if they can make that happen. So, and apparently, there's no more beef with him and Cole. So if that's the case, then yeah. Williams does have 2 years left. You're right, Tyler. Yeah, sharp potatoes. They offered $7 million to Ohtani. The only thing that they've done since they signed IKF, and they also signed Justin Turner last week to play third base, I think. So I don't really know what else that they've done, but they definitely, I think they were willing to go that far for Ohtani. This is a huge Japanese market in Canada too. So in Toronto, particularly. But I wouldn't be surprised, Caleb, if they brought in a Bellinger or a JD or a Soler. I mean, if you get a resurgent Bo Bichette and Vlad Guerrero, and you have Dalton Varsho hitting, George Springer hitting, and all you did was you added Turner and IKF, then they can be pretty good. I think they're more interested in Alek Manoah turning into Alek Manoah again. So, but Caleb, would I be surprised if they added one of those guys? No, not at all. David Bednar from Pittsburgh, Benji. We've talked about him. I'm not sure if he's available. 87 likes. We're 13 away from 100. Anybody who hasn't hit that thumbs up, please do that right now. Let's blow past 100, please. Yeah, Vlad did win his arbitration. High 19 million versus low 19 million, Consiglietti. It's pretty good. You know. The problem, Angelo, with Clase is he's going to cost a lot. The Guardians will ask for Spencer Jones. They'll ask for Jason Dominguez. So, like, you know, I'd be curious to know what the ask is for Clase. I really, really would. So, Kluber, I don't think he'll come back here. Thor or Clevenger for the back end of the rotation. Clevenger might cost 8 or 10 million, which is why I'd probably go for like a guy like Hinge and Rio. He'll cost just a few, not even half that. So, remember, it's all double now. So, I could see Soler to Arizona. You add him and Jock to that lineup. That's a pretty darn good lineup. And with those young studs they have there, oof. Roldis Chapman is not a closer. Yeah, I don't think he's a closer either. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, moved on from Kluber. Thor, I don't know. I mean, is he still getting guys out, Thor? How much would he cost? Jack Neely. They've got some. I mean, Lewis Hill you got Scott Efrost coming back too. So they've got a young stock of pitching prospects who can be valuable in the bullpen and potentially in the rotation too. So Arizona, I think, is definitely going to be paid to the Dodgers. Corbin Carroll and the rest of those guys, heck yeah. I mean, the Dodgers going to be tougher, yes. You know, and especially Ohtani, he's only going to be hitting this year. So, and they have Yamamoto, and they've got Tyler Glasnow, and they've got James Paxton. They re-signed Kershaw yesterday, but he's not pitching until August. So that rotation is still very, very injury prone. Very injury prone. And Yamamoto's going to have to be pretty much an ace in order to stabilize that rotation. And I don't know. He hasn't guaranteed himself. He hasn't proven anything in the majors yet. So CW's in the house. Yeah. Will Harrison do? I don't think they've signed yet, as far as I know, Benji. At least not that I've heard. Syndergaard, I mean, he still throws. I mean, you want a hard-throwing guy for the bullpen, and maybe. I mean, you can get him for a heck of a lot cheaper than you get Clase. Or maybe you'll have like a Kerry Wood type resurgence. And when Wood came here for the bullpen, he was fantastic for the Yankees. Fantastic. Oh, one like to get to 100. All right. CW, I'm ready to, dude. Ready for spring training. Oh, heck yeah. I hope Cole wins the second signing. That would be fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure if David Bednar is available. He's a guy that I talked about. And he's a bulldog in the back end of the rotation, but I'm just not sure. If he's available, then I wonder if Mitch Keller's available. But I don't know. They're both still in arbitration too. But they would cost a pretty handful of prospects. They would cost more, probably more than Clase and Bieber. I'm guessing. Tyler, thank you for the super chat, my man. Appreciate you. Peraza, Pereira, Ben Rice, and Luis Hill for Devin Williams. I like Ben Rice's bat. Thank you for the super chat, man. But I know he's limited defensively, so if you can get Devin Williams, that's a possibility. Would it cost that much? I don't know. Maybe 3 of those guys for 2 years of Devin Williams. But I like the idea, Talbot. I like the idea. I like the bold. You always put up the bold propositions, man. I like it, man. I like it. Big Splash Inc. has been talking about for half a year now. You think it was just to shut the fans up. I get it. We got so happy. I don't think that That's there is no. I mean, Angelo, I don't think there's a bigger. What bigger splash could you possibly make than Juan Soto? That's my that'd be my question at this point. Devin Williams will cost. He's going to cost a fair amount, but if you can get him for maybe three of those guys and not four of them, then I think that'd probably more be representative of a package. But again, if you give any three of those guys, you're giving them pretty much almost 20 years of control in exchange for two. So that's a pretty good return for the Brewers. It would be a pretty good return for the Brewers. It really would be if you look at it that way. And Jonathan, yeah, I mean the Yankees still have five catchers on the 40 man. Four of them are invited. Four non-roster invitees are invited to spring training too. So you know, four that are not on the 40 man, and then you have the five. You'll have nine catchers on the at least in spring training. Nine. So, which is crazy. Soto or Judge competing for MVP, I'll take that, Sean. And Angelo's, you're right too. You can never have enough pitching. So, yes, indeed. Rortvet or Torres and Peraza for Shane Bieber. I don't think they would take Torres. They might take Peraza. No, maybe. Or maybe you can just get him for like an Everson Pereira or something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure Torres would be a guy that Cleveland would want because they've got their shortstop, I think, in their second baseman already. So. Oh God, yeah, Billy Clemenza. Yes, indeed. Soto. I mean, if you got two guys competing for MVP, and if we happen to get 1-2 in the MVP race this year, like our lineup's pretty solid. Because I think those guys are going to help a lot of other guys up and down the lineup as well. Going to really, really, really lengthen that lineup and balance it out nicely. So, Hendricks. Yeah. Hendricks from Cuba. You're talking about Liam Hendricks? He's Australian, Benji. But he's a free agent. As far as I know, he's a free agent. Torres is a counter financial, then yeah, I could see that. I just don't know if the Guardians have room for him, but and I do, yeah, Chris. I think he's got a serious connection with Matt Blake. So in that regard, I think Bieber is going to be in the conversation until the very end. So, but does it happen? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And if we can get a Cy Young from Carlos Rodon, heck yeah. Oh, Kyle Hendricks in the Cubs. Okay. Starting pitcher. Yep. Yeah. Price comes down for Cease. Yeah, I think Democracy. I'm with you there too. The price for Cease is still way too high. Trade Torres and sign Gio, move DJ to second base. The problem is, Anthony, where do you trade Torres to? And if you trade Torres, you don't really need to sign Gio because you still have Yorbit Vivas, you have DJ, you've got other guys here already. So, because Gio's probably going to cost $8 to $10 million, so it would wipe out most of the savings that you would get from Gio, especially, I mean, from Torres, especially if Gio costs $7 million, that's going to cost 14. Gio costs 10, that's going to cost 20. So, and I think that's something they have to keep an eye on too. The economics at this point is different now that they're over the Cohen line. So, yeah, and I'm telling you, Liam Hendricks is a bulldog pitcher. I wouldn't be offended if he came here either. Kyle Hendricks too, yeah. And I'm with Jonathan too. I still think number 5. I think it's most likely going to be Will Warren. Coconuts. Yeah, I mean the Marlins. Yeah, I can't see Torres going to the Marlins. They won't even pay Luis Arias, who's they offered $11 million to, and I don't think they're going to pay Torres at $14 million. But this is another one where you can get like one of these catchers and an Oswald Peraza and an Everson Pereira. You can get a litany of prospects for a pitcher. So, the Cohen threshold. Yeah, exactly. The Cohen threshold is definitely prohibitive at this point because there's no more punitive taxation level in baseball than the Cohen threshold right now. And the Yankees are the only team that are above it. So I said that too, Sean Browning. I mean, Nestor Cortez is a swingman for long relief. I think using him a couple days a week for multiple innings. I would rather have a full season of him healthy out of the bullpen than a half a season of him healthy in the rotation. So who would I trade for Devin Williams? I'd either Yoendris Gomez or Luis Hill, and probably Everson Pereira and maybe one more prospect. I don't think they need Peraza, but somebody like an Everson Pereira and another prospect. I'm not sure who. Or I mean the catching prospects, but now they've got. Well, they only signed Gary Sanchez to a 1-year deal, so I would maybe add a catching prospect to them. So, and I would, Billy, yeah, I'm with you there too. We'll see what Luis Hill can bring to the table. He could be the closer. He's got a big arm, and he's healthy. I've seen footage of him throwing bullpens, and he looks good. Looks good. So, I'm not sure, James. Yes, I don't understand why they don't want Perez either. I'm as confused as you, James. I really am. Unless we're not hearing, something that we'd like to hear. But I don't know. No, same here, Strike Zone. Same here, NFE. People want to fill up. Yeah, I mean, and that's why having this protection this close is a good idea, because if Schmidt gets hurt, if Cortez get hurt, you could plug in a Will Warren, right? And he's already in AAA. He's not far away, and he's shown to be capable. So he's a guy who would probably be the easiest one to slide in the rotation and to take a place of one of these guys, especially if they're hurt. And Schmidt, yeah, I don't think Schmidt's going to get, unless he gets hurt. I'm with you there too. I think Sean. I think Schmidt has earned his rotation spot. So, and I think he's going to get better this year as well. And Cole has taken him under his wing, so I see more gamer in Schmidt too. So, yeah, Will Warren's got a good pitch repertoire. Tanner Scott was another one, Angela. Yeah, for the bullpen, he's another one. Yeah, today's the Martian's 21st birthday. Jason Dominguez is 21 today. Happy birthday, Martian, man. Happy birthday, brother. Same here, Strike Zone. I'm more worried about, I've said this too, I'm more worried about Cortez than I am Schmidt. Yeah, it was pretty much Cole and Schmidt last year, NFE. You're right about that. Cole and Schmidt. I think Marinaccio is tradable, Bendero. I do think he's tradable. And I would imagine I could see Cashman moving one of the two of the relievers. I could see him doing that during spring as well. So, yeah, Democracy. He was, he was great in 8 games, but again, he got hurt, Tommy John, and I just hope they bring him back slowly and intelligently, and not rush him back. Just like the Phillies took their time with Bryce Harper, and now he's back, and he's going to be their permanent first baseman. And he's back to the Bryce Harper hitter too. So, Luzardo. Well, the problem, Angela, Tanner Scott, I would look at, but Luzardo, apparently the asking price is Hampton and Spencer Jones, and I don't know if I would do that for Luzardo. So, I could see Marinaccio, Loaiza guy. I could even see maybe a Tommy Canley being traded to NFE. So I do think they'll probably move a reliever and maybe one or two of the catchers during the spring. It's some more roster tinkering. Why do the Yankees not wear their alternate jerseys for the home games? It's a good question, Ali. I don't know. I mean, the home, it's pinstripes, so that's not going to change. They're known for the pinstripes. So for the home games, yeah, they have new away jerseys though. I mean, old school. They brought back the vintage ones. That's going to be pretty cool. But I do not see them moving away from the pinstripes ever. At least not in our lifetime. Cashman for yeah. Well, Albert, I think if I were Bauer, I'd offer to do a pitching, do a throwing session for teams and let them come watch them. so they could see whether he can still throw the way he threw before or even close to it. So he still looks healthy, still looks, so can he do what he did before is the question. And I wouldn't expect him to be Cy Young Trevor Bauer immediately right off the bat either. So you can get some production out of him if he can stay out of trouble. Now, for training, Maz is in the house. There he is, the man. When this is JJ, yeah, you're one of the qualities about Bauer is that he's durable. Now, missing 3 years, I don't know if that changes the dynamic either. So, but I don't know. Well, that's one reason why Grisham was brought in. Yeah, and he's an elite defender. He could be a defensive replacement. He plays multiple positions, democracy in the outfield. So, but yeah, I mean, it is definitely a reason to not rush Jason Dominguez back. They don't have to worry about the defense in the outfield. And Dominguez can, especially if Stanton's hurt, he can DH and still has bat, can be in a lineup. So Tanner Scott's one of the best lefty relievers in the Marlins. He's a guy I would look at too. But they might be done in the bullpen. They might be done, but I don't know. You never know with. We could think that one day, and then the next day they'll make a move. They would think they're going to trade somebody, and the next day do nothing. So it's never. It's so hard to follow what they do because they don't leak anything. Nice, 4 trains right. We can't rush Dominguez back. We've got to be smart. Like that's why I use Bryce Harper as an example. The Phillies took their time bringing Bryce Harper back. They DH'd him first, and then when he was ready to go back on the field, then he went to first base. So they let his UCL heal, right? And now he's back to the Bryce Harper stud that we know, stud hitter. Now, it would be fantastic, Michael. We get Cole and Bauer decimating the Astros. Oh, I would love it. I would love it so much. I think so too, Democracy. Yeah, Jason Dominguez will probably start in Double A, and then once he shows that he can be healthy and productive again, they'll bump him up, and then it's smart to start. I mean, I think Spencer Jones, I think is probably going to start the season once spring training is over. He'll probably start the season in Triple A if he plays well. So, you know, yeah, but he's got a lot of charisma, Trevor Bauer. He's got personality. Interacts with his fans. So, you know, I enjoy watching him. He's pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool. But any team is taking a risk because of all the stuff that's still out there. That stuff needs to be cleared up. I like the Caleb Ferguson move, sports guru. I think they brought in a good lefty, hard throwing reliever, added another lefty here, so and I think it's good. I think it's good. So I think they've done good in the bullpen. They've done good. I know they lost one D, and stuff, but they've gained Victor Gonzalez. They gained Caleb Ferguson. They've gained Cody Morris, who's got Matt Blake connections. They've gained Cody Poteet. They've gained Luke Weaver. Like they've done good. They really have. So I'm happy for that. I mean, yeah, I don't doubt he takes his craft seriously. You could see it, William, in the. But again, like I could see, I see him getting these guys out. His Chinese friend, like and all this stuff. But the problem is, I mean, you got to see him getting out big, like pro hitters, right? So Dominguez has a good. No, he's not going to be playing. I don't think in the spring, Jonathan. Not yet. If Spencer Jones has a good spring, I can see him being in AAA. I don't think Dominguez is going to play just yet. Moxie Spencer Jones has also been working with a new hitting coach and adjusting his swing. So, he's doing the things that he needs to do. So, which makes me pretty happy. Brandon, yeah, I mean, MLB's definitely looking. It looks like they're looking to make it an example of him. Unfortunately, so like I said, he was already cleared criminally. So, and that's what matters most. I'm not sure. We'll see where the Martian starts. 120 likes. See See if we can get to 150 if we can. If anybody hasn't hit that thumbs up yet, if you don't mind hitting that thumbs up, I thank you so much for it. Oh, God, Juan Soto's first home run. Yeah, I can't wait. Michael, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, yeah. Michael Vick, yes, he did. He went to prison. He came back and went to the NFL. Like, yep, yep. Yeah, I don't want them to rush Dominguez either. Democracy. I don't think it's a good idea to rush Jason Dominguez. I really don't. We'll see, Sean. He's a lot leaner. I'm hoping that he's worked on his agility, his flexibility, his range of motion. So important things. And he's still, hulking in the upper body. So it looks like he can still tear the cover off the ball, which is good. William, I mean, he's coming off Tommy John. I think it would be a good idea to start him in Double A, and then if he shows that he can be healthy and productive, I'd bump him up to Triple A. I could see him back up in the majors sometime in the summer. And they've even said the same thing, like July-ish. They could see him back up. So, so we'll see. He's got to, he's got to show that he's healthy and productive. Coming off Tommy John is not the easiest thing in the world to come back from. So it takes some time. Yeah, no doubt. I hope Stanton makes the full year too. And I don't want them to rush Spencer Jones either. Would I trade for Miles Mikolas? I don't know. What value would he bring? What does he let's see. Let's see here. Let's pull him up. Miles Mikolas. There's 9-13 with a 4.78 ERA this year. 137 strikeouts. He's 35 years old though. Let's pull up his contract. Let's see what he's at. He signed a 3-year, $55 million extension. When did that start? Let's see. Contracts. Yeah, 24 and 25. He's got 2 more years, 16 million per. I don't know if the production is worth that because remember the Yankees would have to pay 32 this year at the very least. So I'm not sure he'd be high up on the list right now, Mikolas. I'm not sure. Yeah, well, there's a lot of William, a lot of really good, teams in SEC. Like some of the best teams are out there in the SEC. So comparing to Double A, yeah, I mean, some of them are even higher ranked than that, but that's probably a fairly good comparison, William. I'd say so. I'd say so. It's going to be really interesting to see. Now, let's see here. Garrett Cole gushingly said so. Garrett Cole is singing Juan Soto's praises here, apparently, in the reports. Let's see. Let's see here. Marvin Gonzalez, I do remember him. I do remember Marvin Gonzalez. Yeah, is he back in Japan? Is he playing in Japan? Number one Yanks fan. Did he go back out there, or did he retire? He might have gone back out to Japan. Number one. MLB can consider allowing big leaguers to participate in 2020 Olympics. Okay. Almost be like the World Baseball Classic. Do I see the Yankees going to I think they're going to keep tabs on him, and if the offer is right, they'll probably jump on Bieber because, again, he's connected to Matt Blake. So Matt Blake knows him well, and if anybody, if they're going to trade somebody who's not going to cost a fortune, it's probably Shane Bieber at this point. Yeah, I do think Marwin's in Japan, number one. I agree. Josh Bro, I think he's still a prospect with the Yankees. He might be in the top 30. One of their catchers, I think. Josh Bro. Um, he was, if I remember correctly, he was a second round pick. Josh Bro, right? Let's see. Josh Bro. He's in. He's still with the Yankees. 26 years old. Catcher. Um, second round pick in, number 61. He's in double A. Looks like he might be in double A. Um, three teams, actually. He played for three teams. Scranton. He's in triple A now, Josh Bro. Triple A. Yep. Bieber and Clase would be a massive package. Massive package. Can you still in the Yankees minus system? What's that, Chris Schmidt? Bieber and Devin Williams. I mean, it's two separate trades, but will probably cost less than Bieber and Clase. Yeah, he did get invited to spring training. I went over the spring training invites yesterday. Let me see if I still have it on here for those that haven't seen it. I think I might have pulled it down. But let's see if I have it here. The spring training, they invited 4 non-roster. These are 26 non-roster invitees that the Yankees are bringing to spring training. Let's see if I still have the list here. And here we go. Greg Allen, outfielder. Josh Bro, catcher. Nick Birdie, pitcher, right-handed pitcher. Yerry De Los Santos, right-handed pitcher. Jeter Downs, infielder. Caleb Durbin, infielder. J.C. Escaro, who they got recently, a catcher. Joey Gerber, right-handed pitcher. Luis Gonzalez, an outfielder. Oscar Gonzalez, who they claimed off waivers from the Guardians, an outfielder. He's back. Chase Hampton, pitcher. Spencer Jones, outfielder. Brandon Lockridge, outfielder. Anthony Misevich, left-handed pitcher. Odanier Mozugeda, left-handed pitcher. Ben Rice, catcher. Jose Rojas, utility player. TJ Rumfield, infielder. Dennis Santana, right-handed pitcher. Kevin Smith, infielder. Luis Torrens, catcher. Tanner Tully, lefty pitcher. Dwayne Underwood Jr., right-handed pitcher. Josh Van Meter, infielder. Art Warren, pitcher. And Will Warren, pitcher. Those are the 26 non-roster invitees that we know so far that are coming to spring training. So, pretty good list. Pretty good list. So, and I can see some other folks. And Clayton Beater. I can see some of these other folks being invited to spring training as well. Yorbit Vivas is on the 40-man, yes. I think he's probably going to be the likeliest guy to replace Gleyber Torres if he leaves in free agency. So those are non-roster invitees. Vivas is on the 40-man, so he wouldn't be on that list. He'll be at spring training, Vivas. Yeah, these are non-40-man people. So Yorbit, yeah, he's on the 40-man, so he'll be at spring training. Anybody on the 40-man is automatically invited to spring training. Liam, so let him sign Bauer 1-year deal for 3.5. Bauer, Nelson Cruz. Bauer said today he would sign for the league minimum. So you wouldn't even have to sign for that. You give him incentives or something like that. So But again, is it I would imagine these guys would have a power and decide if it's worth the risk or not. I would imagine they'd have to talk to Garrett Cole too. Jorbit looks solid. Yeah, he does. He does look solid. So, yeah, Bauer said today he only wants the league minimum. I read it right off his Twitter, too. Torres could get moved. It depends on how the Yankees are doing, Jonathan, I think. Depends on how the Yankees are playing. Michael's in the house. What's good, my friend? We'll wrap this up in a few minutes, by the way, too. We'll cap it at an hour. But that's what we got right now. So, like Snell, like I said, for those that haven't heard, Gary Sanchez is signed with the Brewers tonight, this afternoon. He was Blake Snell's personal catcher in San Diego. So maybe Snell would consider going to Baltimore. I mean, Milwaukee. And again, Milwaukee added a draft pick in the Corbin Burns trade. So, and I know they have to give up 2 draft picks for Blake Snell, who's attached to a qualifying offer, and $1 million in international money. But with the extra draft pick they gained from the Burns trade, they'd essentially only be giving up 1 pick for Snell. I got to credit Jonathan for that, for his insight. He brought up a great point before we started streaming. So I thank you, Jonathan, for that, man. We got 130 likes. All right. Fantastic. If Spencer Jones kills it in spring training, Mike, I think he's going to start in AAA. I don't know, Anthony. We'll see where Snell goes. I'm not sure. But he turned down the Yankees. They were the only team to make him an offer, and he turned it down. So I'm not going back to make him an offer again, especially now they have to be double. No way. No way. Democracy Matters, always a pleasure having you on here. Thank you for coming on and spending some time with us this evening. But we'll see, William. I don't know. We'll see. Spencer Jones got to make some adjustments, obviously. So we'll see how well he progresses in spring training. But okay, yeah, Snell and Boris can kick rocks. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sean, 100%. Snell and Chapman going to San Francisco. Or I could see Chapman and Soler going or something like that to go to San Francisco. I could see Soler and if he say going to Arizona, Montgomery, I don't know. I can see Soler and Montgomery going to Boston now that Theo Epstein's back in the Boston fold. Now he's a part owner. So, but number one, the problem with Scott Boras that his 4 top clients are still on the market. None of them a week to go in spring in the off season, and none of them have a team to play for yet. And this is, I think, he's misread massively the market. So I think it's crazy. Signing deadline. I know somebody proposed that. So that and a salary cap floor there should be. So and teams that receive luxury tax, not revenue sharing from teams that give it away, or should be mandated to spend the money. If they don't, then they lose their first round draft pick to the team that gave them the most money. That's simple. Oh. Bandera, in all honesty, if Bauer comes here, I don't think it'll be in the rotation. I think it would be in the bullpen. At least for starters. I'd be really, really curious to see. Dom Smith, the backup. Yeah. Is he available, Dom Smith? And DJ would back up Rizzo too, so they have a guy already here. Honestly, Brendan, I think Snell's going to go elsewhere. I think he's going to go elsewhere. So, and I'm with you too. I hope Ben Rice doesn't turn like Greg Bird. Yeah, I mean, Greg Bird had a lot of promise, and he couldn't stay healthy. Now he's killing the ball in Australia now. So, down under, murdering the ball over there. So, and I'm with that CW. I'm confident that Soto stays too. I think we talked about this last night too. And that's one reason why I think they're not going to re-sign Glaber, not going to re-sign Verdugo to make it easier for them to re-sign Soto. One reason they're not paying double for Snell or Montgomery so they can re-sign Soto, which is a more important endeavor than paying double for those pitchers. So the Mets get Corbin Burns. That'd be kind of crazy, William. But at least we wouldn't have to play him all the time. Josh Van Meter. All right. Let's go, Josh Van Meter, man. I think I'm confident about Will Warren. I don't know if the Yankees are going to sign Trevor Bauer or not. Yeah, exactly. He could wind up with Pittsburgh. I mean, I think it's any team that takes a flyer on him is taking a risk. And again, so you got to make sure this stuff is cleared up. So, and again, you're gonna have to figure it out. You're gonna have a buy-in from him, like to behave and to not, cause any drama and all this. That has to be, I think, a given. So, yeah, Cody Bellinger's dad was the Yankees, a champion with the Yankees too. 2 rings. You know, Bruce, man, I appreciate the kind words. I really do. Try to be, that's why this group is special, in all honesty. It's just a grown up group. Sure, level headed, and we disagree, we agree, but we're respectful to each other. So, you know what I mean? Um, Julio Urias is still under investigation by the LA District Attorney's Office for domestic violence. So, and his second arrest for domestic violence. So, he's not in a good spot. And yeah, Nelson, I don't think if they signed Bauer, I think he would be for the bullpen, not the rotation, or he could be a swing man like Luke Weaver. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. Um, I'd be really curious to see. Clay Bellinger is now a fighter, and Felix fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, of course, Mark. It's unfortunate. I mean, he's 27-year-old left-handed pitcher. He could have gotten paid this offseason, but this thing happened. So, just like Juan DeFranco, I think his life's probably over now, based on what he did. So, it's terrible. And it's Ken Rosenthal said there's no clause or writing in the Major League Collective Bargaining Agreement that allows the Rays to get out of that contract. They just paid him like 180 million with incentives to take it over 200 something million for 12 or 13. He was like 20 years old when he signed it, and apparently they can't get out of that contract. I don't know if that's confirmed, but Ken Rosenthal did say that. He did report on that. No, I don't know. I don't think anybody can be our next Mariano, but uh, if Hill became the closer and was good, then I'll take it. Soto, he'll be fantastic for the Yankees revenue. So, yeah, number one, it's the second domestic violence arrest. So, yeah, Dodgers signed James Paxton like late last week. I don't know. They get Devin. I would keep tabs on Devin Williams. I keep tabs on Shane Bieber. I don't know. The Yankees are going to do, to be honest with you. So, yeah, Harper's been great for the Phillies, William. Absolutely, absolutely fantastic. But let me let you all go. I want to thank you all for coming on. That was the talk for tonight. Snell and Trevor Bauer and the possibilities for both of them. So I'm going to keep tabs on them. I will do the same. If anything comes out, you'll get it. So anybody in here that's not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And anybody hasn't hit that like button, hit that like button if you don't mind. Thank you so much, Kyle Harrison. Interesting. But peace and love to all ears. Thank you always. You're the best family here, the best community ever. Have a great night, gang. Talk to you next time.